Good morning. Happy Monday morning, October, I don't know, something like 10th. And right off the bat, got a call that we got to jump on. Hello, this is Josh.
Josh, hi, Anita Owens from ABC Home Sales.
Yes.
I got your agreement of sale for 132D.
Yes.
That's correct. I know they had been looking at several different ones, Cedar Manor and Pine Manor. I just want to make sure we got the right house.
132 Dean is definitely the one that they liked that layout the best.
Okay. Across from 20 Letty.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the blue one. It's got brown carpet. Like, it's definitely. I appreciate you wanting to triple check it, but it's definitely that one.
Okay. My other question is, I see that they are pre-approved with 21st Mortgage. And my question to you is there a reason they went with 21st? And I ask that because 21st does not fund at the table. And in my experience with them, we've had some rough roads.
Yeah, I don't know why they switched to the way they do them now. I don't know why or when they did, but several years ago, that's not the way they did it. So I'm not sure why they switched to that. They went with that at the recommendation of, I don't even remember now. I did recommend that they reach out to the who is it? Tamac?
There is Tamac, but if they have good credit, I would recommend going through American Mobile Home Finance.
Okay.
And they're quick. They fund at the table. I saw they wanted to close by the 25th of November. That's realistic. With the other two, I don't know that that's realistic.
Okay.
So American Mobile Home Finance, I can give you their contact information. They're easy to deal with. And as long as they have good credit,
They do.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yep.
Then I would say reach out to Brian Callahan at American.
Oh, you know what? I've talked to Brian. I think I even have him saved in my contacts. I just haven't thought of him in so long. Let me just make sure.
I'd go with him. I use them 90% of the time when I have a client, as long as their credit is decent.
Do you have it as 610-631-1600?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's the number. And just tell them you're buying a home through ABC Home Sales, because we do a lot of business with them.
Beautiful.
So he'll put your client first.
Beautiful. I'll have them get right on that this morning. I'll let you know as soon as they have. Either way, they definitely are interested in 132 Dean, but I'm going to have them reach out to Brian ASAP.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll have a better experience.
Beautiful.
Really do.
Okay.
I got to send this agreement to the owner, of course. He makes the final decisions on price. And I'll get back to you as soon as he gets back to me. It should be probably later today.
Okay.
But I will get back to you.
Beautiful.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Anita.
Good one.
Bye-bye. All right, so unexpected, but deals are happening, so I got to answer my phone. I got to call back an investor that is likely going to make an offer on a bank-owned property that I found for him Saturday morning. Today's topic is converting seller leads. Specifically, I had an agent by the name of Tommy ask me how I pitch my 7-day stress-free home sale, and so I'm going to share that this morning. I also want to share something through the social posting process that I've done a lot on this show that I've been lazy about, and I'm going to show what I'm talking about and why you should use what I'll show you this morning if you're going to post on that. And I probably lost a lot of business opportunities by not doing this. I was reminded of that this morning. And then time permitting, I'm going to reach out, see if we can find a for sale by owner that might be good bait for my 3-step off-market matchmaker process to use to find more potential investor buyer clients. From that conversation, I am going to from that was a listing agent or a listing agent representative calling about an offer that we submitted last night for some clients that I sold their property off market. I've talked about this a few times here on this live stream. So I'm going to text. Good morning. I would highly recommend you guys reach out to Brian. I think you might be able to get better terms on the financing of 132 Dean. It would at least be worth a conversation with him. I know I sent another option last night, but I would start with Brian, and I'm sharing his contact information here. If you don't get it for some reason, just let me know. Send that. And I love that all of this is happening because it's demonstrating the best way to win the day, win the week, is to win Monday. And the West Bay. Hey, Ben, good morning. It's Josh.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I actually drove by that house this weekend because I was in the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's a nice looking little place from the outside.
Yeah, I agree.
I looked at the inside pictures a little bit. Looks like it needs some help, which is perfect.
Sure.
But yeah, I got a pretty tough schedule this week, but I would be interested in running through it quick.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what your schedule's like. You don't have something like today at 1 o'clock, do you?
I can do. Let me see. I gotta be back. Yeah, I'd have enough time to do that.
Okay. If you can line it, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it requested. It's vacant. There's zero chance that we won't have the approval, and yeah, no issues there.
Did you get a chance to talk with their agent about where the bank's at pricing?
Well, yes, and I would say that it doesn't matter where they're at. Meaning, like whatever number you're good with, we could. I'm super confident in throwing that out because it has been listed long enough that I've just seen that no matter what they tell their listing agent, if you know, all we got to do if we hit it at the right time or the right situation, they'll take a hit on it just to be done with it, either before the end of the month or certainly before the end of the year. And even if they don't accept it this week, what I usually do is, you know, if they don't accept it this week, I'll call Monday, Tuesday morning, say, hey, my guy's still interested at that number. What do we got to do to make this happen? And in many cases we win through attrition in that scenario. So
Yeah, I think if that house, for talking purposes, let's say we bought that house at whatever price.
Yep.
I went through it. When I walk through, I'll be able to ballpark it with my
Sure.
numbers.
Sure.
Let's say it was lightly fixed up. I'm not talking granite countertops or anything. Just, you know, good mechanicals, no major maintenance issues, all the cracking and peeling paint's dealt with.
Yep.
You know, reasonable, good or better floors and wall covering.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
What do you think that house is worth on the open market? Mid to low twos?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just so little in that. There's so little in that price range that's decent. Now,
right.
The thing with it being only one bath, you know, that might be.
Yeah, that hurts it.
But still, yeah. In fact, I may have a guy who would want it. You may have to do very, very minimal, and he may buy it. You know, we might be able to make all of that happen without even having to go through as much of the hassle. An end buyer who's been looking for something in there, he can't do the type of financing he would like. This is only cash or conventional, and he could do conventional, but it's not ideal. But if we got it FHA ready, I think you could, depending on what number we get it at, you could make some quick money there.
If I could do a quick one, I gotta mess with my tax hit a little bit. I'll figure that part out. But I would do that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I don't have to. I don't mind somebody else making $1 too. I mean, I got to make something worth doing.
Sure. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
But yeah, you could talk me into that. Okay. Hey, if you can line up the 1 o'clock, we'll look at it. I got a feeling looking at that, it's about a $40,000 remodel.
Sure. Yep.
Just guessing because it takes nothing to spend that.
Yep.
So if I could be all in with settlement, that puts me right in the 200,000. If I pay 150-ish, that's going to be in the 200,000 all in, all done range.
Yep.
And that leaves us $30,000-$40,000 wiggle room, give or take,
yep.
for a sale.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of a reasonable plan. We'll look at it a little closer.
Okay, that sounds like a plan to me. I will see you at 1 o'clock.
Okay, just shoot me a text or something if something goes sideways.
Yeah.
I'll see you there at 1. I'll be in a little white truck. I have to be in Carlisle at 2, so it will not take me long to buzz through this place.
Yep, all good. I'll be in a little white Kia.
Perfect. Thanks,
awesome.
man.
Hey, thanks, Ben.
You bet.
See ya. All right, a lot to unpack there. That was fun, impromptu. Trying to get this scheduled, the showing scheduled real quick. This is a bank-owned property that I saw. It must have had another price reduction or something. It popped up in my email inbox Saturday morning, and I thought of Ben, who is the real estate investor that I was just chatting with, and I reached out to him. Why don't I unpack? I'll take a. This wasn't on my bingo card for this morning to share, but I'll unpack exactly what happened with Ben. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it back even a few steps farther. Ben is an investor client that I picked up from cold outreach about an investment property, a non-owner occupied property he owns, that I was basically reaching out to see if he would consider selling it. I was using one of the text scripts that has been and continues to work incredibly well to get potential hand raisers, sellers to raise their hand, who might be open to an offer. It's one of the scripts that I've been sharing in a Google Doc that have been working so well for me, email and text scripts, both buyers and sellers. If you want that Google Doc, just DM me or text me 717-571-0456. So he replied to that. This was probably back in July or August. We ended up having a phone conversation about it. And he said, I'm really not looking to sell. I was just kind of curious, but here's what I am looking for. And he gave me his buy box, this is a wonderful, perfect example of my 3-step off-market matchmaker process, which is what I'm going to be sharing Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can register for free for that at 50in26.com, 50in26.com, 50in26.com. You can register for free for that. And so he gave me his buy box, and since September 16th, maybe our conversation started more recently than that. So here's all the text exchanges that we've had from that time. And I have reached out to him about a couple of properties that I thought would be worth checking out. He's even made a verbal offer or two on properties. And when I saw this bank-owned property that just had a price reduction, I immediately thought of Ben. So Saturday morning, I emailed him early because I saw it early. And then I scheduled a text to go out that says, "Morning, emailed you a bank-owned place in Plainfield I thought you might be interested in." He said, "Thank you. I emailed you back. It's definitely the kind of place I look for if the bank is willing to negotiate on their price. It could be something I'm interested in." This was my reply. One of my other investor clients just picked one up where the bank took almost $40K less than the list price, which is true. I've been sharing that story on here as well. My guy, Seth. "Well, not bad. If that property was around 150 or 160, I would probably be interested." I said, "Let me chat with the listing agent, but I'd have no problem throwing out an offer to them in that range. Sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. I'll wait to hear from you." I did talk with the listing agent. His name's Jim. They don't have any offers in hand. And I said, "Would you want to check it out?" He said, "Yeah, I would like to take a closer look." He said he didn't have a schedule in front of him. Probably do something we can schedule Monday. I texted him. I scheduled a text to go out this morning to say morning. Hope you had a nice weekend. Let me know if you'd like to check out that place in Plainfield, maybe tomorrow morning or even this morning. And so he said he would call me, and he did. So since Friday's live stream, I have now 4 appointments, I believe. I have appointment with Ben at 1. I have a listing appointment with a cash offer request lead at 2:30 today. I have a listing appointment tomorrow at 1:30 that was from Cold Outreach. It's a 4-unit, a fixer-upper 4-unit that he replied. I texted him 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. Would you consider selling your property at, address to a private client of mine before the end of the year? He just picked up the phone and called me on Saturday. He said, I've had this text in my text inbox for a few days, or more than a few days, more than a week, and he just called, and he's out of the area, but the sister is showing me the property. And then I have an appointment Wednesday at 1:30, I think it's 1:30, with another cash offer request lead as well. So the week is starting. I've already won the week as far as I'm concerned, but we're not going to stop there. Here's what I am going to dig into now. The social posting process that I've shared a number of times on these live streams. And one thing that I've been dropping the ball on, one little tweak that I want to share and do for myself that will get a lot more traction, or potentially a lot more traction, specifically from my Google business profile. And I would guess also from Nextdoor as well. So there's any number of things that I could post that I could use as content to post. Number one, I could use the bank-owned property that I now am under contract on as the buyer agent. We could use that. Number two, I could use the market, the market report pages on Bold Trail and tailor something along those lines to share. Number three, I could share a curated list of properties. I did that last week. I think it was last week at some point. And number four, I could just highlight a specific listing, even if it's not mine. For example, maybe it's an EXP office listing, which at EXP we have sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like blanket permission to market each other's properties. Or maybe I don't have one of those. I could highlight a new construction property from New Home Source Professional. So I have all of those things to pick from. And what I'm going to do all of those this week at some point. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play off I'm going to use a result to tell a story and leverage to hopefully create more opportunities. I'm going to share my screen here. If you're watching on the TikTok live, you can go see my screen share. If you go to Josh Schoenly Coaching on YouTube, you can see the screen share there to see what I'm doing. I'm going to, in Canva, create the image, the graphic that I'm going to use with the post. And then I'm going to show the little tweak, the thing that I've been dropping the ball on to get more Google SEO juice, let's say, so that I can get even more opportunities coming my way. Somebody is jacking up my Canva template. I shared this with Steven, and he jacked up my template. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to copy this. So I got to recreate it because he's messing with my template here. But that's my own fault. I should have told him to copy it. Let's see here. Effects. Let's go here. And it's not just sold. This one is under contract. And I need to Josh Schoenly, EXP Realty, text me. And I have to, in Pennsylvania, if we're advertising, we have to include our office number. If we put our own phone number, we have to include our office number. So I don't want to break any any rules or any laws or anything like that. Let me see here. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to grab my office number and paste that in. And man, how am I going to fit? I would like to get my email in there too. So there we go. Okay. Now I need the image for the property that we are pending under contract on. So I'm going to go find that. I'll go Carlisle. Whoops. It would help if I could spell Carlisle. And pending. I just want the pending. Wow, there's a lot of pending. What are we pending at? 100 to 150? No, 170. There's probably a faster way for me to find this, but whatever. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So not a great picture, if I'm being honest. I mean, this is pretty typical of bank-owned properties, but he certainly could have. I love Andy, but he could have put a little bit more effort into this. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't think I have an image. I don't think I took a photo that I can use. So I got to use this one. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that and then upload that here. Whoops. I got to upload that and pop that in. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so I pop that in here. And I'm gonna shrink this a little bit. I promise this is going to get more fun and exciting here because I'm going to dig into the topic that I promised, which is how I use my 7-day stress-free home sale system program to convert sellers and get them to say yes to listing their property. A question that came from Tommy Williams, an agent that apparently tunes into these shows or watches the replays, at least at some point, because he heard me talking about that program. So I've got this created. I'm going to download it. And here's the, now pay, if you kind of zoned out, please go back to paying attention here, because this is where I have been dropping the ball and not doing a good job of maximizing the opportunities that could be created with every post on my Google business profile, on Nextdoor, and on Facebook and Instagram, on Meta. Number one, I need to rename the image file. Rename, and I'm going to say under contract, bank-owned property, Carlisle, PA. Okay, I'm gonna add some keywords. I just added some keywords to the image itself, and now I'm going to airdrop the image to my phone. I'll explain why after I do that. So I'm going to airdrop the image to my phone here, and then let me go full screen on this because we want to see it. So now it's on my phone, and I have an iPhone. I don't know. I would assume this functions somewhat similarly if you have an Android, but I'm going to hit the I button. I'm going to hit the info button, which is in the middle there. And I'm going to add a location. And because this is a specific address, right? This listing is at a specific address. I'm going to put that specific address as the location. Okay. So now I've geotagged the image. I've geotagged the image. I want to reiterate, I have totally been dropping the ball on this. This is like a simple thing that I know is important in sharing, specifically on Google Business Profile and on Nextdoor, to give as many bits of information or details that can feed the algorithm as possible. But I'm not going to stop there. I can also add a caption. So I'm going to put keywords into that caption. Under contract, bank owned foreclosure property, Carlisle, PA. And I'll put there are 2 Carlisle zip codes. I'm going to put both of those in there. And I'm also going to put, I'll also put Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. Okay. So I've added those to the caption. And I don't know that this matters, but I'm a little paranoid when it comes to this. So I'm going to delete this image here, the one that I downloaded, and I'm going to share this one. I'm going to airdrop this one back to my computer here. Once again, if you're watching on the TikTok live and you want to see my screen, you can go to Josh Schoenly Coaching on YouTube. Now, I've got the image. I'm going to go to Nextdoor. I'm going to start with Nextdoor. And I'm going to post it. Okay. And I find the image. There it is. Now I can't see. You can't see in here the geotagging and the caption, but it's there. It's there. Okay. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to add the location as a pin on the map, the specific location. And I'm going to do this process every day this week where I will, and I'm going to share different types of content. So a market report or update, a curated list of properties, a specific listing, and then maybe a success story or something like that. I'll probably reshare a Google review or something along those lines. And follow these exact steps because I've been dropping the ball on that. And if I'm doing this process, I might as well leverage every possible way to get more business from this process. Man, my laptop does not want to charge. So hopefully we won't run out of juice here. Let's see here. I'm just finding a post that I can use to just to copy and paste. And I'm just going through a bunch of posts on here. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Here we go. This is the one I was looking for. I knew I had an under contract one. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here, and then I'm going to make some edits. Another home in Carlisle is now pending under contract and is expected to close soon. When this home closes, it will affect your home's value. Go to get your updated home value estimate for free. There we go. I like that. I need to change the hashtags to be relevant to this listing. So Carlisle, PA, under contract, my name, real estate, realtor, realty, broker. I don't think broker matters. Home values, home valuation, listing agent, hashtag buyers agent. I think that's probably good enough. I'm going to copy that. And hit the post button. Now I'm going to go over to my Google business profile, which, by the way, I was listening to some training on Google business profile this morning. And because Google is always evolving and changing things, there are some things that have changed recently with the Google business profile setup process, optimization, etc., that I am hoping to get a special guest on either one of these live streams or our weekly mastermind to share some of those things that I think would be helpful. And if you don't have a Google business profile at all, how you can get that set up and optimized in the best way possible. So I'm going to hit post, add post. I'm going to select that same image. I'm going to paste in my same text. I got to delete all this stuff because you can't have that stuff in here. And I need to copy this link here because you can't have links or you can't have links or phone numbers or emails or stuff like that in the post text. It has to just be text. I mean, you can have emojis, but you can't have calls to action or things like that, or links really. When this homes, wait, let me see here. Curious what a buyer might pay for yours right now. Tap learn more below to get your new updated home value estimate for free. And instantly receive multiple cash offers. There we go. I'm going to add the button here. I'm going to choose learn more. And I'm going to add the link to the button in there. And post. Posting it. There we go. And now I can see, look, there it is. It already posted. Well, it says pending, but it'll be published here soon. Lastly, we got to go over to Facebook. And now for Facebook, I'm going to use this exact version of it. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to switch to my business page. Switch to my business page here. And I'm going to upload the image, exactly the same. I'm going to paste this in, and then I have to do this thing here where we have to make sure that the emojis are highlighted. I'm just clicking here. Just clicking here to get them engaged. Oh, fewer than 1,000. My hashtag. It's all me. And Carlisle. There we go. And then I can hit next. Post. And then once the post is live, the rest of what I do, once that goes through, the rest of what I do in this process is directly on my phone, which is I go to the Facebook app, and from my personal profile, usually it pops up here, but from my personal profile, I search, and well, it's not playing. Oh, that's why. Hold on here. I wasn't on my personal profile. I need to switch back to my personal profile. There we go. And then, oh, look, right there it is. I'm going to hit like. I'm going to like my own post, whatever. I'm going to hit share. I'm sharing this to my to my story. And then I can share this into some groups. Okay. So this is in Carlisle. I'm going to find some groups. There's a couple of groups here. And then it's also in Cumberland County, because some of them are county-wide groups. So select a couple more here. And I've got a few groups, a couple more here. Whoops. Dang it. I screwed it up. So now I got to start over. Yeah, well, sometimes it happens. So Carlisle, 1, 2. Cumberland County, 2 more. And West Shore, and a couple more. So I've got a few here. I'm not even going to say anything this time. Sometimes I'll add some emojis or whatever. I'm just going to share. It's just going to share that post there. And then one last thing I'll do, because I don't think I have, I think you can set this up to automatically happen. But I'm going to share this on my story on my Facebook page itself. Now, doing that process every day and including, to make sure that I optimize the image, is going to drastically increase the likelihood that I get organic inbound leads. And organic inbound leads are as close to warm referrals as exists. And they're usually very low-hanging fruit and very they're closer to being ready to make an offer or to list their property. Speaking of listing their property, Tommy Williams. Let me see if I can find Tommy's email to me. So we get the exact wording of what Tommy was asking. I'm going to bring it up here. Let me share it right here. Share it. So Tommy says, whoops. In a recent video, you mentioned something about your home in 8 days or less, or sell your home in 8 days or less. What does that look like when presenting it to a seller? And he had it almost right. I call it the 7-day stress-free home sale, and credit where credit is due. I took that from my buddy who I chat with often, the #1 luxury agent, luxury real estate agent in all of Nashville, Jason Gruner. He kind of gave me that language when I told him this process that I've been following. And a couple of takeaways before I even explain what that is. If when you're meeting with a seller, you're just talking about a traditional listing, hey, are you ready to list the property on the market? Like immediately you're commoditizing what you're doing. And the simple fact that I have that I've named this process that I use to help sellers sell quickly for top dollar, the simple fact that I have a name for it creates more curiosity and assigns more value to what I'm doing. Just naming it. What is this stress-free home sale, the 7-day stress-free home sale process? Well, it is a strategic process that I have now lots of success stories and testimonials and real live case studies that I can document to a seller that when we follow this system, we increase the likelihood that we sell for the very top market value. And we do so very quickly with very little hassle. The way I explain it, okay, I'm backing this out. I'm kind of backing out to how I, to get to the point where how do I get them to raise their hand and be curious and ready to go. How I explain it when I have someone interested is as follows. Here's how it works. When we use our 7-day stress-free home sale process, everything revolves around the weekend that we're going to launch the property on the market. Once we identify what weekend we're going to use to market the property, we back everything out. So the 7 to 10 days leading up to that weekend, we're going to do marketing to build up, to create pent-up demand, to create some energy and a waiting list of people that are just dying to schedule a time to see the property. We're going to force all of the interested parties to view the property into a small window of time. And then we're going to collect and negotiate the best offers for you over the trailing days. What does that look like in reality? And then I will outline. Let's say, and I need to do this today with Linda. I've been going back and forth with this seller lead, Linda, who originally wanted a cash offer for her property. And those cash offers did not come in at the price that she was hoping, which I knew was the case. So my pivot is this. Hey, Linda, I know these offers didn't come in where you were hoping. What I would recommend that we do is give me 7 to 10 days to run what we call our 7-day stress-free home sale system to help to get better offers, to stronger offers, to establish what is the maximum market value for your property right now. In pitching that to Linda, I also included an example. The example that I included is a client named Jerry. Jerry originally requested a cash offer, and the cash offer came in at 123. That was the best of the cash offers we could get. I did the same thing with Jerry because it's my fiduciary responsibility to present all options and put his financial best interests above all else. And I said, Jerry, we could accept that offer and you could be done with this thing. Or you could give me 7 to 10 days. And I think we can beat that offer on the open market. All I need is 2 days that you can accommodate showings. He has a crazy work schedule, but we allowed showings from, I think it was from 2 to 7 on a Friday and noon to 9 on a Saturday. That was the only time we allowed showings. We did a whole bunch of marketing leading up to that weekend to create some excitement and pent-up demand. I think we had 20-some showings in those 2 days. We had multiple offers, and we are settling on Friday at 152. All cash, no contingencies. So we got the thing he was looking for, which was a cash offer. We just got $30,000 more than the best traditional cash offer from an investor in that process. So that is the 7-day stress-free home sale. Now, how do I actually pitch that? It depends on the situation and the scenario. But what I've done, for those who are curious and would like, more specific details, is I have put together this document. Oh, no, it's right here. With examples of me making this pitch or this offer to potential sellers. And I even include in here the loom that I sent to Linda, which I think I'm inches away from getting her to say yes to getting her property listed on the market this weekend with the 7-day stress-free home sale system. I need to call her this afternoon. If we're going to run it this weekend, we got to get going today because we got to get professional photos and we got to get some of the coming soon, the pre-listing marketing going as soon as possible. But you can see that example with Linda. This example is my pitch to Jerry, who is the example that I use with Linda here. And you can also see in this document, which if you want a copy of this document, DM me or text me at 717-571-0456. DM me or text me at 717-571-0456. I'll give you this document. This loom video is me pitching the 7-day stress-free home sale to a for sale by owner, which I'm going to call a couple of for sale by owners here. Yeah, we should have time to do that still this morning. And it also includes some of these loom examples are me proposing to list the property and not necessarily specifically the 7-day stress-free home sale, because a few of these are vacant land listings. But you can see how I use a personal loom video and then I use AI to transcribe the video to turn it into an actual PDF proposal. So I wanted to share this because it gives you a number of different, ideas and things that you could maybe leverage to help in the converting of, sellers that raise their hand, they're interested, maybe they want a cash offer or they're thinking about selling. How do you get them from that point to, your proposal or your proposition to help them with that process and help them maximize their equity. So great question from Tommy. Anyone that wants this document with these examples in here, let me know. I'm happy to share that. And I'll also be working on crystallizing this presentation into a way that more easily is duplicatable. In other words, this is a lot of me just sort of ad-libbing or improvising when I'm presenting this. And it is working so well, I need to get better at presenting it and documenting it and having the examples. I do have lots of examples. So that's what I would say that is why I've had, or part of the reason why I've had so much luck here is I have all of these case studies of properties that they're just the MLS printouts here and the original price, the close price, and the number of days on market. So I have an overwhelming amount of evidence that I can provide to an interested seller. All right. Now, I hope that was helpful. Last thing that I want to do this morning, last thing that I was planning to do this morning is to use or to the 3-step off-market matchmaker process. I want to document this using a number of different initial properties for step 1. You can find great opportunities right in your MLS. I did it this weekend, Saturday morning. Bank-owned property, I'm showing to Ben this afternoon. But there are other ways or strategies you can use to identify the bait that you can then use to reach out or as a reason to reach out and connect with active, whether they're cash buyer investors or landlord investors or even multifamily investors, whoever you may identify as the ideal potential buyer for this property. And so all this week, I'm going to use different bait or different strategies to find the bait for different audiences. And today I thought it would be useful and helpful to see, and this is completely unscripted, so I may fall flat on my face. I may strike out completely, but who cares, right? Who cares? I'm not married to the results. I'm married to the reps, right? The process. And I'm going to see if we can find a for sale by owner listing that would be great bait to then reach out and connect with active cash buyer investors or whoever the ideal potential client may be for that property. And as I'm doing this process, please, I think one of the things, and I've struggled with this with for sale by owners myself, is what you need to remember is like they don't want a listing. They don't want to list the property. What they want is the end result. They want the buyer. Okay. And if we can present that solution to them, that's really what they're looking for. Now, some of them will list. So what you want to do is demonstrate you can help them by actually helping them without expectation of them like the doing the hard selling of trying to get them to list with you. Demonstrate you can help them by actually helping them. And then eventually when they come to the conclusion that they may need to list it, who knows? And in that time, maybe you sell it using this process. So who cares, right? You get the listing side or the buyer side, one way or another, let's get paid. I'm going to go to Zillow. Because it's free. And most for sale by owners are listed on here. There are other ways you can find for sale by owners. Okay. You can certainly, whatever. There are any number of ways, but Zillow, to me, is the fast, easy way, and it gives you the property owner phone number right in it. So let's start with, I'm just going to start with Cumberland County, PA. And notice we have for sale selected, and it looks like I already have owner posted selected right here. Okay, so these are owner listings. And these are by owner listings, by owner. So these are for sale by owner. And I'm looking on the right-hand side here. And I'm eyeballing, I'm looking for anything that could make sense for an investor. This one might. A 3-bed, 2-bath for that price. It's only been on the market 6 days. I'm going to call this one, but my guess is they've had loads of activity. So we'll see. They may or may not. They may have already had multiple offers. We'll see. Voicemail. Hey, Sally, this is Josh with EXP Realty. I'm calling about 4814 Delbrook Road. I was calling to see if it's still available and just had a couple of questions for you when you have a minute. This is my personal cell. I'm going to shoot you a text in a minute as well. If you could get back to me sometime today, that would be great. Thanks. I'm going to text her, but it sounded like that was a home line and an old school like voicemail, but it doesn't hurt to text. Hi, Sally. This is Josh with EXP Realty. I just left you a voicemail about your home for sale at 4814 Delbrook Road. Period. Is it still available? Question mark. I'm making sure that the talk to text came out the way I wanted it to. There were a couple of things here that weren't quite right, but shoot that out and let's go try to find. Yep, absolutely. If you want to have him reach out to me after you guys chat with him, that's great. That was a text about the financing recommendation I had given at the beginning of the show to clients of mine. Here's one. All right. So a couple. I may do this a couple of times this week. This one, is this a 2-unit? Yeah. Fully rented 2-unit. 82 days on Zillow. Let's go. Here we go. 77491 0968. So what I'm looking for is some bait, and then we're going to use leaddeck.ai to find the buyers. Leaddeck.ai. Go and create your free account, grab your free credits, and get to work.
Hi there, this is Kevin Ellis with Kevin Ellis Coaching. I'm sorry I missed your call. If you leave your name number, I'll look forward to speaking with you just as soon as I can. Have a great day.
Kevin, Josh with EXP Realty. I was calling about the 2-unit in Shippensburg. I'm curious if it's still available and have a couple of questions for you when you have a minute. I have some investor clients who I think would likely be interested. My cell phone, this is my cell phone. I'll shoot you a text when I hang up. We'll see here. Hey, Kevin, this is Josh with EXP Realty, period. Just left you a voicemail, period. Was calling about your 2-unit in Shippensburg. Is it still available? Question mark. Also had a couple other questions for you when you have a minute. Thanks. All right. Well, we're 0 for 2 on phone calls, but I'm planting seeds every time you leave a message or shoot a text like that. It's creating inbound. There's one other one here. So this is a 3-acre lot. Lot 2. Beautiful trees, wildlife. I'm going to call this one, and if we don't have any luck with this one, then I'm going to expand out the search. I'll show you how very quickly and easily you can find a bunch more of possible for sale by owner listings, because we just started with Cumberland County, which is my specific county. So we're going to be 0 for 3 on answering their phone, but it's pretty normal, if I'm being honest.
This is Jerry Franco. Please leave a message.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a call message, press 5.
Hey, Jerry, this is Josh with EXP Realty. I am calling about your lot for sale, and I was just curious. Number one, is it still available? And number two, had just a couple of questions for you when you have a minute. This is my personal cell phone. I'll shoot you a text when I hang up here as well. If you could get back to me ASAP. Thanks. I think that was a landline also, but hey, this is Josh with EXP Realty. Just left you a voicemail about your vacant land or lot for sale on Bobcat Road. Is it still available? Question mark. I have a couple other questions for you when you have a minute as well. I didn't 100% make out his name, which is why I don't know. I said it in the voicemail, but I didn't include it in the text message. Okay. If you are looking for sale by owners, for example, on Zillow, you have to put in a city or a county. But look at this is just a simple little thing. If you click outside of that area, it will then show all of them that are in the entire map view. And so I can zoom out even. I can zoom out here. And now I've got a whole bunch more. So what's this down here? Let me see here. Actually, so now I've got way more that I can look at here. Here's one. Here's one that just had a big price cut. Let's see if it's vacant. It does not look vacant. Maybe it is, actually. I think it might be vacant. It might be. All right. Well, might as well just give it a call because I don't have any buyers in this area currently. So it would be good to reach out. The playground is 2 blocks away. Renovated in 2020. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm going to reach out to this one. I don't know if I'm going to get anybody live here, but we'll keep trying for a little bit longer. And then I'm going to call it a day because I got other stuff to get to. While I'm calling here, if you haven't already done so, register for the workshop I'm doing Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can register at 50in26.com, 50in26.com, 50in26.com. I'm going to show you my 3-step plan for closing 50 deals in 2026 without any ad spend. Shocker. Not going to answer.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, this is Josh with EXP Realty. I'm calling about 26 South Market Street. And I was calling to see, A, is it still available? And B, just had a couple of quick questions for you. When you have a minute, I will text you as soon as I hang up. And this is my personal cell phone. Thanks. There was no name on that either. Hey, this is Josh with EXP Realty, period. Just left you a voicemail, period. Was calling about 26 South Market Street, period. Is it still available? Question mark. All right, let's see if I can find. Will anyone answer their phone this morning? Let's find out. I need to bump it up here a little bit. What is this one? 360. Oh, this one's out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, that's what I was calling about. I'm going to zoom in here to see what is this one here. Oh, that's a lot for sale. I might call that one too. You know what? Why not? Why not? And here's what I'm going to do, because I haven't demoed this function with leaddeck.ai. Regardless of what happens with this call on this vacant land, I'm going to show the tool and see if we can find who are the vacant land buyers that might be interested in this property. And actually, I know somebody who might be, now that I think about it. But I don't want to cheat the system. Hey, Mike, this is Josh with EXP Realty. I am calling about the lot you have for sale on Fox Chase Drive. Just had a couple of questions for you when you have a minute, if it is still available for that matter. I will text you when I hang up as well, and this is my personal cell phone. Thanks. So 0 for 5 or 6, which is not unusual. Hey, Mike, this is Josh with EXP Realty, period. Just left you a voicemail, period. Is your lot on Fox Chase Drive still available? Question mark. Detected inactivity. I don't know what's going on with the TikTok live, but whatever. I'm going to wrap up here in a minute. If you're watching the TikTok live and it ends, here we go. It's making me do some kind of puzzle to prove that I'm not a robot. I don't know. If you're watching this and you want to see the screen, you can go over to Josh Schoenly Coaching YouTube channel. And this is how we're going to wrap up with this today. So leaddeck.ai, AI credits. You can use those credits to get leads. Brilliant. And you can use it to find active buyers or potentially motivated sellers. Real quick, I'm going to demo how I can use this to find, for example, I'll put in here Carlisle, PA. And I got to hit refresh. I got to get with Sean. I don't know why that's still doing that. Carlisle, PA. And I'm going to choose vacant land buyers. What do we got? I have no idea what this 131. 131 owners of 5+ properties, including residential vacant land, purchased in the last 3 years, meaning they've purchased at least one in the last 3 years. It's 131. 131. I can then, so when that person calls back and texts back, I think actually one of the for sale by owners did text me back. Gotcha. Period. If I brought you a buyer, would you be open to paying a finder's fee? Question mark. So this was the first one that I called. It was a ranch house. And regardless of what she says there, I'm going to use the tool also to show you how I can find the buyers for this one, because this is definitely an investor type property. This would be a great buy and hold. And I already have like 3 guys in mind that would want to check this one out. Anyway, back to this. The land for sale. So I've got 131 for that one parcel that was in Carlisle. And this one's 17111. I could use Harrisburg for this, but in this case, I want to show you in this instance, I'm just going to use the zip code. Vacant buyers, check the lead count, 34. Bingo. Okay. So I've reached out. All I need is one of these for sale by owners to say that they would be open to paying a finder's fee. Then I can go and proactively find the potential buyers for them. And then one of 2 things will happen. Or one of 3 things will happen. I'm going to connect with investor buyers. they may be interested in the property that I'm reaching out about. Number one. If so, then I can go to the for sale by owner and say, hey, I've got somebody who's interested. Can we go check it out? And on the vacant land, it's pretty easy, right? That's number one. Number two, the investor is not interested in that deal, but he tells me exactly what he's looking for. And then I can go and find those deals for that investor, either on market or off market, which, by the way, what I'm walking through, I'm going to go in like super detail Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can register for the workshop for free. It's 50in26.com, 50in26.com. Option number three is the investor was interested in that property. We go and we make an offer, but the for sale by owner, it's a lower offer, whatever. He doesn't accept it. But now I've demonstrated to the for sale by owner that I'm not like every other real estate agent. And so if or when that for sale by owner is open to listing it, who do you think might have a good shot at getting the listing? This guy right here. Okay. Let's I'm going to show you one other use case here. So I'm going to go back to city.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa thought I was talking to her. Whatever. I forget that Alexa's even in here, just listening to me, just taking notes. And I'll go cash buyers. So I'm going to go Mechanicsburg, which is where that ranch house is that Sally lives at. Cash buyers, Mechanicsburg, 19 of them. That seems low, actually, but whatever. I mean, it's better than not. But let's say I'll go active landlords, 26. So that might be an instance where I do both of those, because it could be a good fix and flip potentially, or it might make sense for a landlord to buy and hold. There you have it. I'm going to have to wrap it up because the phone is dying. My laptop is dying. Nothing is charging. I don't know if I killed the electric out here or what happened, but nothing seems to want to cooperate right now. And I think I've probably given you all enough to roll with for the day. Give me a thumbs up. If you got something from today's session that you can take and utilize to get more opportunities coming your way this week. And make sure that you are subscribed on whatever platform you're watching on. Turn on the notifications on whatever your platform you're watching on. And of course, I would love to hear from you. Shoot me a DM if you would like any of the resources, the scripts, the example looms and proposals for the 7-day stress-free home sale. Anything that I shared, any help I can offer you in any way, shape, or form, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can DM me. You can text me at 717-571-0456. On tomorrow morning's live stream, I am going to, I think I even made some notes for myself already. Maybe I didn't. I'm going to share my home value update email that I scheduled this morning. That is something I do once a month with all of the people in my database that I have an email and a primary address for. I'm going to share what that looks like, and we'll start to get activity on that while we're on the live stream. I did that intentionally. I'm going to share the bump text that I will send along with that to get even more people to look at it. And then Wednesday, I'll share how do we take those people that are looking at their home value dashboard and turn them into more listing opportunities. So we've got that coming. I will do another off-market matchmaker example, and hopefully we'll get somebody actually live here that engages. I'll also have an update on the appointment with Ben. That was the phone call from very early on in the live stream on the bank-owned property, as well as an update on the appointment with Jason, I think is the 2:30 listing appointment that I have today as well. And I'm sure we'll get into lots of other fun stuff. I'll also do the that posting process, and I won't skip the optimizing the photo so I can get even more Google juice from Nextdoor and my Google business profile on that. We'll probably do a curated list of properties tomorrow. Maybe we'll do recently price reduced properties, something along those lines. If you missed any of this, as soon as I hit stop, as soon as I hit end, you can go back and watch from the start. As long as it doesn't get taken down by you know, the powers that be. Hopefully I didn't share any sensitive data or information that gets it ripped down. If it does, let me know. I can get you you know, the private access, the private screening of it. Thanks again. Hope to chat. Check out leaddeck.ai. Give me some feedback. Shoot me a text at 717-571-0456. Let's make it a great week.